Oh, thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Woo, woo, woo. We made it. This has been like the smoothest transition I think we've ever done on this platform. But welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, Suzanne. I don't know about you, but this is kind of bittersweet because this is actually our last, this is the last part of the three-part series that we have going on for the viewers here on I'll Be Damn. We got these ladies trickling in. We got Tranisha, what's up, girl? Hey, girl, hey. And we got some more folks. Make yourselves known as you're coming in. I have a special for you. You are not going to believe this. So, of course, Suzanne, how you doing, girl? Can't hear you. Oh, let's see if we can get her in. But if you guys have noticed, I put in there that we have a special for you that she is offering to all of you. I hope that you will get an opportunity to take advantage of it. I'm taking advantage of her services. She is coaching me through my financial situation that I got going on. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I am proud to say, so proud to say that I am now in the excellent credit score range. Excellent. I shared this information with my mom yesterday, and she was just as excited as I was because credit has always been something that we talked about growing up in the household. But to be honest with you, it's not something that my mom and my dad could give me the blueprint for. So I'm taking this opportunity, particularly during this pandemic. I know many of us are struggling and hurting, but I'm taking this opportunity to get my finances in order, and I am screaming joy, joy, joy. So let's see if you are back. Can I hear you now, Suzanne? Speak up for me. No, I don't know what's going on. I don't hear you. You know, it's always an issue. I don't know why this is, but we're gonna see if we can just if you can just kind of leave it and come back. But in the meantime, for the folks who are here with me, do me a favor, please. As always, I want you to share this because I think the information that we give to folks, it's not something we should keep to ourselves. So if you want your mama, your sister, your friends to have good credit or to have plans for when they decide to retire, you must be here. So again, Suzanne, if you can just maybe reboot or maybe come not reboot, but just leave and then come back so that we can bring you in the conversation because of course you're the expert. Yeah, she's gonna come back. So, ladies, gentlemen, whoever is here, we got some really good information. So if you can see, I'm gonna try to type it again. So she has an offer for you guys. You can earn a free book or a $25 gift card if you decide to pick up her services. She's giving out a free discovery session that should be in the comments. Hopefully, you guys can see that. Please take advantage of that. A lot of times, you know, you say, oh, well, what can I do? Or you got to buy this big old, like, expensive plan. It's not like that. I think I got you now. She's coming back. So it's not expensive. She's already giving away something for free. She's giving this information for free. And she's also giving you, you can either get $25 back or you can get a free book. Come on, you can't beat that. So what's up, Suzanne? Are you back with me?
How about now?
Woo! Hallelujah. Yes, honey, you're there. You're here with us. But look, I don't
Oh,
want to prolong this because I know it's a struggle, right? But we're gonna move on right on past. We're gonna give it our energy. We're gonna bring in positive energy because I want to say that you have helped me so much, and there's still work to be done. So I'm trying to let our ladies and gents who may be joining us to know. Please take advantage because I've gotten some really good news. Like I said, I actually now I'm gonna share something with you. You know, I'm learning even through I Be Damn through my own life experiences. I need to be more vulnerable because I'm gonna tell you, I'm a very private person. But I think in order for people to understand the struggle, they gotta know it. They gotta know that you can talk all day and say, "Oh, you don't know my story." Well, here's my story. When I tell you that I'm in the excellent range, I nearly cried. Now, granted, I think at one time, being a smarty pants, in college, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna give me a credit card." Baby, I ran that credit card up, and when I tell you, my credit score really took a hit, and I have been trying to repair it. And I've been pretty good. I've always been kind of in the good range, fair good. And when I checked Credit Karma to check out my credit score, and I saw that I was at a 755, I cried. Well, I nearly cried because I was like, oh my God, this is what my mom has been talking about. And let me tell you something else, and it can happen for you as well. I'm not just at a 755, I've actually gone up another 7 points to 762. So when I tell you it can happen for you, it can. So with that being said, who is Suzanne Johnson? If you have not already looked at the two other series, well, let me tell you a little bit about her, and we're going to get right to it. She is the founder of Grace Financial Coaching, where she is a financial coach. She works with motivated individuals, and I love that she says you have to be teachable, right? She works with motivated individuals, couples, and families to develop good financial habits now. Something that I learned about you, and I did not put this in your bio. I'm actually, recalling this from memory. She works with nonprofits. So y'all don't know, community is at the center, is at the core of my heart. So she works with nonprofits, which means she ain't getting paid a lot of money. Okay. So she works with nonprofits to help motivated individuals and couples and families to become or to develop good financial habits so they can experience a more stable future and carefree life. She can be found at gracefinancialcoaching.com. She's on Facebook, she's on IG, and she's also on LinkedIn. So check her out. Again, I put the information on how you can get more of her services in the comment section. So again, check it out. What's going on, Suzanne?
How are you doing? Sorry for the technical difficulties, as always, right?
Not your problem, but you're here and you're going to give us some really good information. We're going to talk about retirement prep 101. And I'm going to tell you, I actually went live prior to this on my Facebook page, and I talked about I don't want to work forever. I don't want to work for somebody else forever. So I got to get myself, and I got to get my coins. That's what this whole series, get your coins, sis. So my question to you is, what should we do to prepare for retirement?
Right. There's actually things we want to do before we even start saving for retirement. So, first, we want to create a budget. It is totally a myth that when you retire, you are going to spend less money. As a matter of fact, a survey that came out last year said that 88% of people, 88, spend the exact same amount of money monthly in retirement as they did when they were still working. So don't sit there and say, I can just save a few pennies now because I'm not going to be spending as much in retirement. That is a total, utter myth, and it's been like that for a while. So what we want to do is create a budget that will give us an accurate number of what it takes for you to live your current lifestyle. And then going back to that 88% real quick, that means 12% of people, the rest of that population, some of them are spending more in retirement and only a few percentage points are spending less. So you may very well find yourself spending more money in retirement than you did while you were working. So we need to identify that number, and we do that by creating a budget and figuring out what our expenses are on a monthly basis and what we kind of have left over to play with and to save.
Okay. Okay. So with that, you said create a budget. Now I'm gonna tell you, folks are probably like, well, what does that entail exactly? How do you create a budget?
Right. And we spoke about that in, I think it was our first time together. And you start off very simply. I have an article on my blog that you guys can look at, but you take the four walls, which is food, shelter, transportation, and utilities. And those are your necessities. Everything else, you're going to pay off that credit card eventually. That's going to disappear. You're going to pay off that car loan eventually. That's going to disappear. And then we have to fit in all that lifestyle type stuff, subscriptions, hygiene, such as haircuts and nails and things like that. But we start with those four walls: food, shelter, transportation, and utilities. And we work off of that basis. Everything else is kind of lifestyle.
That's right. And thank you for giving a very quick update on that and kind of running it down. Of course, you also said get yourself out of debt. Like I was telling you guys, that's why I'm able to bring my credit score up. I am getting myself out of debt. I did it before and I know I can do it again. And I've learned my lesson. Sometimes you got to go through it again, but I've learned my lesson and it is paying off. Now, you had a question, or actually, Elizabeth Gallegas Williams was here the last time and she asked this question. And I applaud you for keeping that in mind, and you want to answer that question. Her question was, how do you calculate how much money you need to retire?
Yes, that was a great question. And we made sure to write that down from last time. Thank you, Elizabeth. So, most people think retirement is an age. It's not. Retirement is a number, but it's actually a dollar figure. And you need to work backwards from that dollar figure to figure out what you should be putting away now. And that way, if you figure out what to put away now, you won't be living on rice and beans later on. And I would encourage everybody to go and visit chrishogan360.com. My buddy Chris, and he has something on there called RIQ, Retirement IQ. So he will ask you a series of questions. They get pretty in depth. They want to know some numbers of what you have saved now, what your current budget is. So you're going to have to do a little bit of work. But if you go to his website and fill out that RIQ survey, it will give you the dollar amount you need to have invested, and then it will break it down into a monthly amount you need to be saving now. So it's not just going to give you this big giant $1 million number. It's going to say, this is what you need. You need 1.7 million at some point, but here's how you achieve it. Here's this small number that you can work on now so that you are not living on those rice and beans. Tranisha, that's good that you like rice and beans.
Oh, and I'm gonna tell you, I know Tradisha, and baby, she can cook. So if we eat her rice and beans, we'll be okay. But for the rest of us, I don't think so. We got Tia Paul, who said most people don't have a means to afford to put money aside for retirement. What would you suggest, with that comment?
Right. And I would say 95% of the people I work with, when they start to work with me, they tell me the same thing. There's too much month left at the end of my money. I spend all of my money by week 3. I've got nothing left to save. And out of those people, 5% have an income problem where they literally cannot save money. The other 95% aren't prioritizing it.
Okay. And again, for myself, I'm gonna tell you, I was one of those people. I really was. I was that person that said, I done bought this, I bought this, I gotta pay off this, I got my light bill, which is so unpredictable if you live where I live. And then I'm like, well, what can I do? I started cutting out the fluff. I mean, I call it fluff. We talked about it on the last show. What exactly is necessary? We talked about internet. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, in order to get the life that I want, I cut out internet at my house. I have internet in my car, which is it's a better plan, better subscription. It takes a little finagling, but it also takes a coach like Suzanne, who is actually doing a phenomenal job with helping me. We actually have a session coming up shortly, and she's doing a great job with me. And I'm gonna tell you, I was one of those people said, baby, I ain't got it. So what am I gonna do? I've just shared with you about my credit score, which was actually a crying moment for myself because I've always been like fair, good, and now I'm in the excellent range. You don't know how good that feels. We have someone like Tranisha again who said, agreed. Let's get it up there so you can see. And I'd like you to, talk about that. Like most people, I live paycheck to paycheck, and I still need more. I know that even myself, look for those side hustles. That's what I'm like trying to, what's my side hustle? Tranisha, I know you a little bit about your story, as you mentioned. She's out there, she's doing painting parties. So, I mean, isn't it better to also supplement your income?
Yeah, you can do it 2 ways, or you can do it both ways. You can cut expenses, you can increase income, or you can do both. So good for you, Tradisha. That's awesome that you have added to your income that way. That's very impressive that you thought of that. I am a terrible painter, so I should probably attend those painting parties.
Yes. So when are you ready to start saving, and where do we start?
Yes. So you're ready to start saving when you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm ready to start saving. We can break that paycheck to paycheck cycle. Like I said, 95% of my clients come to me and they already have the money in there. It's about cutting that fluff and prioritizing. If you wake up tomorrow morning and you say, I'll start next week, guess what? It's not a priority for you. So it's not going to work. That's just the bottom line. The ultimate goal is to save 15% of your income towards retirement. And we had a gentleman join us last time, and he asked, how can we maximize a 401k? His name was Mike. I did not get his last name. I'm sorry. But he said, how do we maximize a 401k? And that was a perfect question, because that is part of that 15% number. So we're going to mathematically calculate 15% of our income. So go get a calculator and figure out 15% of your income and get that dollar number. First, we're going to go to our employer's 401k, 403b, or TSP plan. It depends on what kind of job you work, if it's a private company, government, or a municipal job. If there is a match for that 401k, we're just going to use 401k as a generic term right now, invest up to that match. The best match I've seen recently is 6%. Usually it's between 3 and 4%. So invest up to that match. The average match is actually 4.3%. So anywhere between 3 and 6 is good. After that, that's it. Just stop right there. Just invest up to the match. Then I want you to find a financial advisor, and I can always recommend someone. They don't have to be local to you on a state-by-state basis. It's a national certification and license. So anyone, anywhere can help you, but we can always find someone local. And I want you to start a Roth IRA. The maximum contribution, right now we're recording this in the end, towards the end of 2020, it's $6,000 a year for a single person. If you're 50 and over, it's $7,000 a year. So now we've matched that 401k, and now we're maxing out our our Roth IRA to $6,000. If by doing those two things, maxing out the 401k match and maxing out the Roth IRA, you still haven't reached 15% of your income, then I want you to go back to your 401k and fill in the rest of that with that dollar amount difference, that delta in those two numbers. But most people will max out 15% just by doing the match of the 401k and then by doing the Roth IRA. And once you do that, I see that there is a comment over here where we want it to be kind of like a set it and forget it and then you can't touch it thing. Guess what? That's what a Roth IRA is. That's what a 401k is. You touch that, you're paying taxes, penalties, fees. Yeah. It is a Christmas club. Put it in there. You can't touch it and if you touch it, you're going to lose a ton of money by touching it. So that should be incentive enough to not touch that money once it's in one of those retirement vehicles.
Right. Yeah. And that is something that I think when it's out of sight, out of mind, right? Then okay, well, I can't touch it. It's going to accrue on its own, right? It's going to do the job that you want it to do. So that way,
exactly,
you don't have to worry about it. So here's another question. Okay, so Tia, again, thank you for participating, Tia. She says, for independent contractors like myself, this would be hard. I can't see it. What do you say to that?
Guess what, Tia? I'm an independent contractor. I own my own business. I don't have access to a 401k. So I have to skip that step entirely and I have to go straight to the Roth IRA, max that out. And then I have to go to my financial advisor who has the Roth IRA for me. And I have to figure out things to do above and beyond that. Do you know how long that took? Maybe an hour to sit down with him. And we didn't even sit down in person. We did it virtually now. And we figured out, okay, you're going to max out your Roth IRA. That's $6,000 this year. And then we've got to do something else to get you to that point where you're going to be comfortable in retirement. And he set up a mutual fund brokerage account for me. So it literally took an hour, and it's totally set it and forget it. If this is something you prioritize, if this is something you want to do, you might not be able to put the full 15% the first year. I totally get it. That might not be feasible the first year. That might not be feasible the first 2 years, especially if you're an independent contractor and business has gone down recently. I totally understand. But we want to get into this habit. and we want to work this saving muscle. I've talked about this with Danica. We have to work that budgeting muscle. We have to work that saving muscle. And it's like having a personal trainer for your money. Once you get into that habit, the muscle is going to grow, and all of a sudden you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, oh man, it's June and I already fully funded my Roth IRA for the year.
Yeah, no, definitely. It. As someone who likes to shop, right? I mean, we talk about this. I'm a thrifter. I love going to the thrift store. Which, if it's okay, can I go today? It's Monday. I'm gonna just a little bit. I'm trying to break myself of the habit, but I definitely have taken a better look at my finances during this time. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I'm not here to hurt any businesses because I do believe in small businesses. I believe they are the heartbeat of America. But for me, I'm not going to buy a hoard of clothes. Where the hell I'm going? Just saying. This is a pandemic. Where am I going? Okay. So I know for me, I'm cutting that out of my budget right now. I'm not going to buy a lot of clothes. I used to. I'd go out and buy a whole bunch of clothes, but I'm not going to do that because I'm prioritizing what I need. So let me just mention this, and I don't know if for whatever reason it wouldn't show up in the comments, but if you know someone who could benefit from a one-on-one financial coaching, send them to Grace Financial Coaching. I just put the link in there. If you want, make sure to mention I be damn, and you could receive a free book or a $25 gift card. Speaking of getting money back, I have to shout out Tanisha. Girl, I'm getting money back on my gas. Like these apps that give back money. Oh, yes, that's what I'm doing. Any way that I can, maximize, I'm doing that. So next question for you is, give us some do's and don'ts for retirement savings. Are you still there?
Yes. So one that has done. Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. So one of the things that has come up during this pandemic, I think people were bored. We didn't have sports. We weren't going anywhere. But people have really started to buy in on the day trading and the cryptocurrency kind of wave that's going on right now. This is not a means to save for your retirement. Robinhood may have become super popular over the last 6 to 9 months, but this is not actual investing. It's gambling. And gambling's a hobby, guys. I hate to break it. I hope no one's going to hang up on us, but it is a hobby. Hobbies provide entertainment and require you to spend money. If you want to budget day trading, if you want to put a line in your budget that says entertainment and you have $100 a month to mess around on Robinhood, to mess around on day trading sites, by all means. But it's a hobby, it's a lifestyle, it's part of your budget, and it is not a source of long-term income.
Yes. And I'm going to tell you, I have a Robinhood account. Just saying. Well, that's good to know. You're popping my bubble. My goodness. But I did not use it as a way of retirement. That's not my retirement. Just to say, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it as a retirement. It was just something because, again, I'm learning. I'm trying to figure out what's a way that could help me. Well, I'm looking at some of the ways. We're going to get back to some more do's and don'ts. We got Tia. She says, I pinch pennies, but I can't live without my wigs. Girl, and I know you love those wigs. Tranisha says, I splurge on food. I know she loves to cook. She likes to cook different, fancier meals. She says one meal is usually like $50 to $60. Sherry said, hair is everything, Tia. I'm learning this. But we talked about this again. And I think, and I'm going to tell you, I applaud you again, Suzanne, because I have taken on some of those recipes that you posted. We have to find ways to still, eat, really good meals, but you can also cut back. And I'm telling you, when you cut back, man, you're going to start to see where you can put, where you maybe pay more on a credit card bill or put more money in a savings account. Let's keep going. We have a couple more. What's some other do's and don'ts you have?
Oh, yes. So don't invest. This kind of goes with the Robinhood and the day trading thing, but a little more specific. Don't invest in single stocks. Again, unless you're willing to lose this money at a moment's notice, this is not a solid investment strategy. Mutual funds, where there's a whole bunch of different stocks into one big pile called a mutual fund, that is the way to go. If you're a grandmother, and I use this example because this is literally me, my grandmother bought me IBM stock when I was born, and I was born in the 80s and IBM was flying. Well, a few years later, IBM tanked. But guess what? I still have that single stock. It's like 3 stocks because it's a sentimental type thing. My goal ultimately is to sell it. If there's maybe a little bit of a tech bubble again, I'll sell it when it's high, but it's more of a sentimental value thing. I am not relying on that single 3 IBM stocks to fill up my net worth. So I think as this year has shown us, one stock can tank at any moment. I mean, did we all wake up, back in February and think Disney World and Disneyland would both be shut down indefinitely? What if you had Disney stock? I know a lot of people who have Disney stock, and that just went through the floor a few months ago. So don't invest in single stocks. Again, if it's a sentimental one-off thing, totally fine, but it's not a fully fledged long-term investment strategy.
Right. And as you said, it's considered gambling, right? Because you take a chance.
You're taking a chance on a single stock again, exactly. And that's what the day trading thing is. But the day trading thing is even quicker than sitting on the single stock and having it crash 3 or 4 years later. One of the things I do want you to do is to diversify your portfolio. So those are $20 words that financial advisors use to make themselves sound expensive. But diversifying your portfolio is just spreading your risk really thin. We wouldn't put what did grandma always say? Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? So don't put all your eggs in the IBM stock basket. Don't put all your eggs in the Disney stock basket. We want you to have mutual funds and different kinds of mutual funds. So the 4 categories of mutual funds are growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. And you can look at that as 4 separate quadrants, 25% each, but depending on where you are in your age. So if you're a younger person, if you're below 30, we're going to put more in aggressive growth. We're going to have your financial advisor put more in aggressive growth because you can handle the risk. You're not retiring for another 30 to 40 years. If you're leaning more towards 40 and 50, we may have those in 4 separate equal quadrants, or we may go a little more on the growth and income or the growth, which are a little more cautious. So it really depends on where you are, but diversifying is easy when you have the right financial advisor.
Okay, cool. I think definitely when it comes to age, you do have to take that into consideration. I do know that, but I don't want to get past this because Tia did ask a question. So should we focus more on retirement rather than repairing our credit? Credit is so fickle.
It is, Tia. That is so true. And I think Danika's, vulnerability with what she told us earlier about her credit score increasing and then just increasing another 7 points, like seemingly out of nowhere, right? That shows you all that is, unfortunately, it is a marker in our society, but it's just an I love debt score. So you have the debt and you pay it off. And the credit report people say, oh, look at Danica. She had this debt, but now she's paying it off. We're going to reward her. We're going to increase her credit score. Well, what that does is allow Danica to go get a bigger credit card for a $50,000 limit. Now, is she going to do that? No, she's not. But that's really all the credit score is good for, and getting a good percentage rate on a mortgage. What we want to do with the credit score thing is not necessarily focus on it so hard, but just dedicate yourself to paying down the debt, saving up money for an emergency fund, saving for retirement. The credit score is going to come with all of that. It's going to grow slowly, and then one day it's just going to pop up 7 points. So it's super fickle, and we don't want to focus on that solely. That will be something that comes along as we go through this process.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And we are definitely towards the end. Again, this is an offer for the IB Damn subscribers. That's why I told you, please do me a favor, share this video. Get in touch with her. She's working with me. We're doing a great job. I have some homework I need to do before Wednesday. So this is an offer for IB Damn subscribers. If you know someone, you yourself included, who could benefit from a one-on-one financial coaching, come on over to gracefinancialcoaching.com and make sure to mention I'll be damn, okay? When you are setting up a free, y'all know y'all love free, a free discovery session, you can earn a free book or a $25 gift card, okay? GraceFinancialCoaching.com. Again, she has been a pleasure to work with, and we're still working, and we're trying to get this thing going, girl, because I am not trying to work forever, okay? All right, what's up? Oh, we got Veroni. Hey, how you doing? So happy to have you here. Tia said, thank you, great info. But you know, ladies, y'all know what time it is because I don't want to keep you too long. We're at our 30-minute mark. It is time for, let me see y'all fire. Give me some fire, ladies, because it's time for rapid fire. Whoop, 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 whoop. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So, number one, and ladies, I want y'all to also join in too, okay? If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose?
Oh my gosh. Probably Donald Duck. I've liked him since I was a little kid.
Donald Duck, you couldn't hear nothing he's saying, and he'd be spitting all over you. Oh, I don't know. He would aggravate the shit out of me. Okay, number two. If you had to delete all but 3 apps, which ones would you keep?
I would keep probably, aside from all the work ones that you got to keep, right? But the fun ones, I would keep my budgeting app because that keeps me accountable.
Okay.
I would keep Snapchat because that's how I see what my younger cousins are doing at college and what kind of trouble they're getting into. And I would keep probably Twitter because I follow a lot of news outlets on Twitter.
Okay. Now, what would you? Okay, so let me go back to the number one. If you can hang out with a cartoon character, we got Tranisha said Bugs Bunny. Bugs would be cool, I think, but he would probably play a lot of pranks, and I'll probably end up beating up Bugs Bunny. Just saying. I'm just thinking about myself. Tia said, "Oh, Pepe Le Pew, girl, he a little freaky deaky. You know, Pepe Le Pew was kind of freaky deaky. Did she say Pornhub? No, you did not. Wow. So y'all know the second question was, what 3 apps would you give? She said Pornhub. Are you serious? Then we got Tanisha said her bank app. What else? She said, oh, her period app. Girl, you gotta keep yourself right, okay? And then Snapchat. For me, I am into. I see Veroni's here. That's how I was able to find her on TikTok. I don't know what my issue is, but I am like a TikTok head. I watch TikTok before I go to bed, so that's definitely one. Of course, Facebook, because I got to keep this one going, and definitely one of them. I use Facebook a lot of times for news as well, but I have to think about that third one. All right, we're gonna go to number 3. Okay, these are good. Y'all are funny. If you I'm thinking about Tia, girl. You got that in my head right now. If you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would you choose?
Oh man. My first inclination was to say rob a bank, but that's probably not good for a financial coach to say.
Right. That was gonna be mine, rob a bank.
Well, but then if I rob the bank and I get away with it, then I can just do this for free. Then nobody needs to pay me.
And they wouldn't even suspect. They wouldn't even suspect that you robbed the bank. So
Exactly.
There you go, win-win. That's funny. What y'all say? I want to hear what would you do? Question is, what would you, if you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would you do? Tradisha said, rob a bank, but would the Lord forgive me? He sees everything, honey. Sees everything. All right, we got to get to number 4. Okay, what's the weirdest food you've eaten? Actually, I think I've asked this question on my.
So I'll pretty much try anything. We were talking about this weekend, actually. My mother-in-law said that she would, you guys had pho, Vietnamese like soup with noodles. And a lot of times they make that with tripe, which is animal intestines and stomach. So I have tried that, and it wasn't bad, but I probably wouldn't eat it again.
That is a staple in South Louisiana, boo. On any given Saturday, people have tripe dinners. Okay, they are selling tripe dinners. That is like an everyday food over here. Like that ain't nothing weird. Like they do that is the thing. Okay, for me, I think the weirdest thing I've ever eaten was escargot, escargot and ox tongue. I was like, what? But I tried that. I do that. Like if I haven't been on a cruise in a minute, obviously, right? But when I go on cruise or if I go out of the country, period, I want to try different foods. Especially when you're on a cruise, if you don't like the food that they give you during like the special dining, you could always eat whatever, like a hamburger or anything. So I tried escargot. I was like, ooh, I've always heard of it, and I want to try ox tongue. I'll never do it again.
Oh.
Just say. No, no, no. Elizabeth, you're in the building, girl. We just talked about this, so you got to go back and listen. She addressed your question from last time. Tia said, now that, I wonder, did you go to, she said chocolate covered ants. That actually does sound pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. I think I probably would try that. Elizabeth said squid. Wow. Oh, y'all don't try some stuff. Fried goat cheese. It's so good.
Mm.
Fried bugs. Y'all must have went to what's that place called? It's a little insectarium. We have an insectarium out there in New Orleans. Whew.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I might try the fried covered no chocolate covered ants. I might do that. Now I don't know about the texture of squid. See that I can't be doing all that. I don't know. All right. But hopefully it was good for you ladies. I would never say ew because hey, you just never know, right? You can't speak against something you don't know. And the final question for you, madame. Let me pull this up. Like I'm gonna miss you, girl. I'm gonna miss
I
you because this is
know.
like the last one. So y'all better make sure to take advantage of this free discovery consultation she's doing. All right. Would you rather lose all your money or all your pictures?
Money or what?
Or pictures.
Ooh. That's a tough one. I'm gonna get a little sad detour right now. I've lost both my parents already, so losing all of my pictures would be really bad. Um, you can always make money. You can always find a side hustle. You can always get a job. I'd probably lose my money.
Oh wow. I'm not you look, you had me thinking. Of course my mind was lose the pictures. But see, I also went through Katrina. So all our pictures did not survive either. So I guess maybe I've been there already. I know. Also lost all my money too at one time too. So wow, that's you really you opened my mind to something. So ladies, drop those comments. What would you do? Would you rather lose all your money or all your pictures? And man, you just tugged at my heart, Suzanne. That was so wow. That was pretty powerful. So I want to hear what you guys got to say. Elizabeth says she would rather lose all her pictures. It depends on what kind of childhood I guess you had, and hey, Tia said she would rather lose all her money. Wow, that was a tough one. Glad that we got a chance to do it. I'm just prolonging this time because I don't want you to go. I don't want to lose you. But last comment here, and this is from Tanisha. She said she would lose her money. She said pictures last a lifetime. I was just telling my daughter the other day, she's 14 and doesn't look like the pictures when she was younger. She said, I told her when I get dementia or Alzheimer's, those pictures will bring me back. Y'all just about to have me
Hmm.
cry.
I
Don't do it.
know.
I know. I didn't think it was going to be this deep, but you guys are awesome. So thank you so much. As always, ladies, gents, if you are here, make sure to tune in every Monday on right here on I'll Be Damn Blog for Carpool Conversations. You heard me. I love you guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you pretty soon, Suzanne. Thank you so much. Y'all take care.
Yes.